They are all leading international experts in their respective fields. They are all contributing to humanity's progress worldwide and now in China. They are all aligning their vision with China's future. They are all here on My China.
There are many stories in the Scandinavian mythology about giants. They are the opposite of gods and they are very powerful. It's my job here to create giants.
The giants I'm talking about are in fact wind turbines. And what you are seeing now is the nacelle, the centerpiece of a wind turbine, ready to be loaded onto a truck. What happens next is the turbines will be transported to their destination hundreds, even thousands of miles away.
What we see here behind me is another wind turbine leaving our factory in Tianjin. This is what we call the nacelle, which includes a gearbox and the generator. Right now the production capacity of this factory is 6 to 8 wind turbines every day, including Saturday and Sunday. It is very heavy machinery. And now I'm standing here and we are going to Guanling, which is up here.
Guanling is in northern China. Like many other counties in the area, Guangling's economic development is very much based on its coal mines. This procession of trucks is delivering coal. Trucks like these run day and night, all year round, non-stop. The fact is, they have to, since coal is the lifeblood of China's energy sector.
This area is one of the biggest, if not the biggest area in China for coal mining. A lot of trucks comes here every day. Trucks going down the hill are loaded with coal, and the trucks going up the hill are empty, going to receive more coal.
So what are we doing here? It's not because of the coal, of course. We have come here to set up those giants we made.
I am now in the Guanling wind farm substation. The substation is where we collect all the power from all the turbines, and then we transform it to a voltage that fit to the Chinese grid, and then we distribute it to the consumers from here. At this substation we have 7 people working full-time. There are 25 turbines and they produce 75 million kilowatt hours per half year. This is what we have from the first half year of energy production. 75 million kilowatt hours is enough power to get 2 high-speed trains running constantly at 300 kilometers per hour, day and night.
Yes, 2 high-speed trains running day and night without stop for 5.5 months. That's what a substation can contribute for meeting China's energy needs. And more wind turbines are on their way.
I am now on top of the mountain, and you can see that all the turbines are located here on top of the mountain. That is because that's where we find the highest wind speed, and the more wind, the more power.
And as you can see, more turbines are being installed at the wind farm.
Here we are installing a new turbine behind me. All it needs now is the blades to get on the turbine.
Over here we have the hub with 2 blades, and up here we have the 3rd blade that will be mounted onto the hub, and then the whole rotor will be erected in one go. Over here we have the transmission lines. They are not yet finished, but they will be finished before the turbine is put into operation. And over here we have a road that is specifically designed for these big trucks, so they can come in with the components. If you consider the scenario, it's astonishing. A new wind farm is rapidly being developed in a coal-rich area. Here you see epitomized what's happening with the power industry nationally. China's wind power market is achieving annual growth of 30%. And in this situation, the wind turbine production business is booming. In theory, you cannot take more than 59% of the energy out of the wind. If you try to take more, you will simply stop the wind and the wind speed will be less. Our blades are very close to 50% efficiency, so we are very close to the limit. And 59% is not really possible, because that would imply zero drag and things like that, which cannot be done. So they're very efficient turbines today. Just how big a market are we talking about here? China currently accounts for 50% of the global wind power market, more than any other country in the world. China's installed wind power capacity amounted to 96 gigawatt at the end of 2014. That's more than the installed capacity of all forms of energy in the United Kingdom. 153 billion kilowatt hours of wind power was generated in the year. Enough to keep those 2 high-speed trains running for 1,000 years. Impressive, isn't it? I'm now going to climb the turbine tower. It's 80 meters high. I am now on top of the turbine, enjoying the beautiful view of the mountains. It's about 7 meters per second wind speed, so all the turbines are running, except for this one. We need to stop the turbine when we climb it. And I'm safely hooked up to the turbine to make sure that I don't fall off. Of course, I'm not up here just to enjoy the view. I'm here to inspect the nacelle and the blades, just to make sure that these giants are working fine. These giants, as the one I have right under my feet, they generate power from the wilderness. They empower cities all over China, including Shanghai.
They are all aligning their vision with China's future. They are all here on My China.
This is the city of Jiangyin. What's special about it? Well, it's located in an area known as the Yangtze River Delta, a region that contributed 15% to China's GDP in 2014. Most of it is created by heavy industry. This city, along with others in the Delta, has played a significant role in establishing China as the world factory.
We are now in Envision's office building in Jiangyin. In this office we have a lot of manufacturing people, we have a lot of engineers doing R&D work, we have human resource and finance.
And so to my office.
Over here we have the first factory, which built right now 1.5 megawatt turbines. And over here we have a new factory where we built 2 megawatt turbines and 4 megawatt turbines. We are now in the workshop where we make the 1.5 megawatt turbines. Here we are making about 8 turbines per day. The production is running full speed. When Envision built this factory some 6 or 7 years ago, it was the first moving line factory for wind turbines in the world. Here we have a turbine that's almost finished. It just needs to have a cover mounted on the top. Moving line factory means that it makes turbines more or less the same way as cars are made. The only difference is in a car factory the line is moving all the time. In a factory like this, the line is only moving part of the time because it takes so long time to mount the components. So you can say it's a continuously car production, but it's not a continuously production when you make wind turbines.
This is the good part of catching up in terms of development. You can always try something new in the industry. This is the reason why I joined this company.
We are now mounting the top of the nacelle cover and the turbine will be finished. The nacelle cover is made of the same material as the blades, glass fiber, because that's very durable. It's very easy to make in different shapes and also it's quite light.
On the other hand, a company like this naturally falls short in terms of experience in both management and innovation. That's where my foreign colleagues and I come in. We offer them our expertise. I would say it's a good combination. What do these Chinese characters say? The name of the company, Envision. It's young. It started only a few years ago, but it's moving fast. The company is expected to attain second place in the sector very soon. Now take a second and think about this. You can make quick investments. You can be first to build a factory. But can you find experienced workers? It's difficult. The workers here are mostly young, so where they do get their experience. After all, they are making world-class wind turbines. Well, to be honest, I think they just learn fast and work hard. That's what I like about it. What you see here is an LM wind power blade factory. The company was established in my homeland, Denmark. And it's the company where I once thought I'd spend my whole career.
I worked for LM Wind Power for 21 years in Denmark. Especially the founder of the company I enjoyed very much to work with. We have an innovative spirit, both of us. Unfortunately, he has died by now. LM has several factories in China, and this is only one of them, the one in Jiangyin, just besides our factory. We are now at LM Wind Power's factory in Jiangyin. LM Wind Power is supplying blades for Envision, and it's the largest independent blade supplier in the world. They have blade factories all over the world basically. What we see here is our blade for our offshore turbine. The blade length is 66.5 meters, and the bolt circle here where we mount the blade on the turbine is 3.3 meters. Very big stuff. If we go to the small one here, this is the blade for our 1.5 megawatt turbine that we just have seen in our factory. And this is 42.1 meters long. And we will ship these blades directly to the wind farm from LM. They will never go to our factory. I designed the blades on those turbines, or at least the back one. That's a micron turbine, I can see. I am now standing outside LM Wind Power's Technology Center. This is where I have worked for 21 years. At LM Wind Power's Technology Center in Denmark, they have a wind tunnel. This is a wind tunnel specifically designed for airfoils for wind turbine blades. They have a branding center where they present several of the best patents that I have done. And also they have behind me here a test center for blades, and this facility can do static and fatigue test of blades up to 73 meters long. This turbine is probably about 20 years old, and I designed the blades for this turbine about 22 years ago. So basically that's what I do. I design wind turbine blades.
They are all here on My China.
This city is the economic capital of China. Many international companies have established their headquarters here, along with factories in the satellite cities like Jiangyin. This is what Envision has done too. In all, 960 people are working for the company. 80% of them are either engineers or technicians. And me, I'm responsible for the company's research and development.
So what's amazing with Peter is his capacity to remove his knowledge from experience, look at the problem with a new eye, a new perspective, and then go back to its experience and say, yes, in the past I've experienced that, or yes, that's the solution we applied at that time. But that doesn't mean he will not try to find another solution or a better solution. It's just he's able to learn from everybody and to learn from every situation. That makes him very flexible and with a great capacity of learning.
When I started at Envision more than 5 years ago in Denmark, we got the task to make a very good offshore turbine suited for Chinese market. And we came up with this concept here. It's very different from the traditional three-bladed turbines. It only has two blades. And also we have moved the pits out here. That means the blade can rotate here instead of here. And the big advantage about this concept is that in a typhoon area where the wind speed will be very, very high, the turbine will stop, and by pitching the blades in a specific angle, we can make it
balance itself like this. And then when the wind comes in from this direction, there's almost no area that the wind can hit. So we can decrease the extreme loads by more than 50% compared to a three-bladed turbine.
Så har vi normal drift her.
It's a crucial day for Peter Grabau and Michael Friedrich.
Jeg synes, vi skulle prøve den der, hvor den ene vinge den er almindelig, og den bagerste vinge den er pitchet 87 grader.
The two engineers are performing wind tunnel tests of a scale model of Envision's new offshore turbine, a turbine with two distinct features.
And of course that makes it cheaper turbine, it makes it easier to transport. Prøv lige pitchen noget mere. I 80 og den anden i 100 dernede.
But simulations are one thing. Today the theory and computer results are tested in reality for the first time.
Den anden bremser godt.
Ja, den anden bremser sådan rimelig godt.
After the first test run, the results look positive.
That was 5 years ago. The prototype has been running for 2 years now. This was why I joined Envision. The company embraced my idea and provided me with the opportunity to turn it into reality.
一方面呢，因为 Peter 他本人是一个充满激情，特别希望有创新，能够释放他能量的人。另外一方面呢，远景能源，我们作为一个公司呢，一个创业的公司，我们最强调的就是给员工一个创新的平台，让我们的每一个员工能够充分的释放出来自己的这种激情和活力，能够创造价值，面对挑战。所以呢，我们就双方形成了一个比较好的契合。也就是说 ，Peter 呢找到了这样一个平台，一个可能远远超过他在其他的一些光环环绕下的这个大公司所能提供的平台。当然，从我们公司角度来讲呢，我们也很自豪。为什么呢？因为我们吸引了像 Peter 这样的一大批顶级的海外专家，在我们这样一个平台上创新奉献。
I am now at Envision Global Innovation Center in Denmark. This is a place where we have 25 very experienced engineers. Actually, we have more than 500 years of wind turbine design experience in this little office. You don't find anything like this anywhere in the world. Let's go and have a look. So this is the office. And here we have Ib. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Ni hao.
Ni hao. Nice to meet you.
Well, Peter is one of our key employees in the blade and aerodynamics, and Peter has strong experience from LM wind power. And he's a very innovative guy, and this is a joy for us. So when he expressed his wish to go to China to join the mother company, well, I fully supported that, and that is what happened.
So this is our garden. Here we have the cherry tree. But usually the birds eat all the cherries before we get there. There we have a plum tree. So it also carries a lot of plums. Hi, Maria. Skal du have en tur? This is actually something I have inherited from my parents. Also the big painting there, which is a religious painting. Maria, you also have to say a little bit about your father to the camera.
Okay.
Can you tell something about your father?
When I was younger, he was always the one who took me to my special places like when I wanted to go horseback riding on my ponies. He was always the one who took me there and wanted me to always do what I wanted to do and supported me in everything I wanted. And afterwards, he always told me to follow my dreams, and if I wanted to, because he's so passionate about his work and everything he does, he's doing it with all of his mind and all of his heart. He's very passionate man.
Den der. Ja. Se ham. Okay. Jeg har selv avlet ham der. Det er mere...
Ja. Hvor meget mere kan han klare, tror jeg?
Arbejder med vindmøller. Nå.
Ja. Ja. Så skal du koncentrere dig om at ride, ikke?
He's a very nice person, first of all, but he is also a person with a very special personality. I think that was maybe the thing that I fell in love with. He never gets angry. You have a very hard time making him angry, and that's because he thinks anger is something that arises when you do not understand each other. As soon as you understand the motives for a person doing things, then you will not get angry. And I think if the world was populated with Peters, there would be no wars. Definitely not.
Look at this city. 24 million people are living here, the same as in the whole of Australia. I can't help thinking about the figures. In 2014, China generated 5,500 billion kilowatt hours of electricity. Yet 75% of it came from coal burning. Only 2.8% came from the wind. And China is developing fast. So what's the future? Burning more coal than before, or trying something else? Everybody in the wind industry is working very hard on designing the blades so that we can squeeze 1 or 2% more energy out of the turbine. It's very little. We are very close to the optimum now from a blade point of view. What's much more important is the wind speed. If you increase the wind speed from just 6 meters per second to 7.5 meters per second, the turbine will generate twice as much energy, which is an improvement of 100%. Therefore, I have been thinking a lot about how can we generate wind. Most people say wind is there or wind will not be there, but I say there must be a way where we can generate more wind. The idea I have now is to use mirrors massively in the desert. This will influence the temperature and so generate more wind. I have done the maths. The outcome is solid, and I'm ready to wager my own money on a prototype. It's worth trying, even if it fails in the end. That's how we make progress, isn't it? One step at a time.